Welcome back to Squelch, the Video Game Book Club. I'm Dano.
I'm At-Arms.
And I'm Storm Reed. And we're here to remind you that Dragon Age Inquisition is a game, and the games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I think I'm having fun. I don't care about anybody
Guess
else.
what? Game's fun. Game's a lot of fun.
This week, we are going to pick up our new friends, and then we're going to choose a side. And all three of us chose the same side, so that's exciting.
Whoops.
Sheep isn't here. Sheep has family in town. Sheep chose the mages, so I'll be telling about that quest, and then Sheep can tell me what I did wrong next week. So what we did, so we picked up Blackwall, was in the Hinterlands, Sarah and Vivian, Iron Bull, and then chose either the quest Champions of the Just or In Hushed Whispers. Next week is Moving Day, and we're going to get to know our new friends. So we are going to play the story quest, the main story quest, In Your Heart Shall Burn. That is one PowerPoint. And then once that's done, go and chat with all your friends. They all have things to say. They all have cutscenes. So this is a really good time to get to know all your new friends, and your advisors both. So go and do that. You're going to wake up in your bedroom at one point. When you're there, go change your clothes to the dresser because you're going to be wearing those like funny brown pajamas. But if you go to your dresser, you have like a whole bunch of different types of pajamas to try on. And some of them look perfectly fine and nice. So go and do that. That is my tip of the week. Then we're going to play the quests. Welcome to Skyhold, Inquisition Trappings, Sit in Judgment, Training for the Inquisitor, and Acquire the Arcanist. Those are all like really basic quests that are given to you. Like they are basically like dumped on you when you move into your new home. And then you're gonna, one of those things is gonna be like, you're gonna be some trainers into town. There's gonna be 3 trainers. Figure out what spec you want to do and then start on that quest. So there's going to be 3 parts of that quest. One is going to be go and like find 3 McMuffins in one specific zone in the game. Each zone is different for which spec you want to do. You may not have been there yet, so there might be a lot of like clearing out of area that has to get done. And then you're going to need to find a book. So go find that book or buy that book. Do you want a hint on where that book is, or do you want to figure out on your own? Looking at you two.
I'll take a hint.
Okay, so the hint is each of your party members have a specialization. So let's say you're a rogue. There are 3 rogues in your party. There's Sarah, there is Cole, who we're going to meet today, and there is Varric. So each of them have their own specialization. So what you can do with that to figure out which one you like best is you can look at their skill trees, see what seems interesting to you, and then actually go out into the world and do some killing of monsters with them. So think about how each of your party members have specializations already. Wink, wink. That help?
You know, we're gonna, the way we caught hints last week, this is gonna totally.
Yeah, I can already tell me going in next week being like, so I had no idea where those books were. And I think that the clue you gave didn't actually help at all, is how I imagine next week going.
You also can buy the books in Valroyo, and they do say that in the quest line as well, so you can just go buy them as well.
Oh, that sounds like the best way to do this instead of like going to hunt.
So you can buy
them.
You
just go to.
That's one part of the quest, is buying the book. And then you also have to go find the McMuffins, and then also pick up some like random like junk. So it is a very good old fashioned like RPG fetch quest. It's a good one. But you're gonna be tempted to want to do all 3 of them. The game's like, hey, it's totally worth your time to do all 3 of these. And let me tell you, it's not. It's not worth it. It's really not. figure out which one you want to do, like Google like guides or do something like that, and then just do the one. Trust me, it's it's not worth it. So that's kind of the plan for next week. I'm looking forward to it. I think this is one of the more, especially the beginning of this week, is probably one of the more iconic parts of this game. So I'm really looking forward to talking about this all with you next week. I'm gonna go thank some patrons if you all want to come along.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I am pretty incredible.
Thank.
I remembered. Hey,
I appreciate that.
I could
thank
tell you were like waiting. You were just like jumping.
There's a lot of eye
chomping at the bit
contact.
there.
Thank you very much, patrons and Twitch subs. Your support keeps this podcast ticking. If you want to support the show, go over to twitch.tv/DanoPlay. The O is a 0 because I'm cool. Or patreon.com/squelch. $5 and above patrons get the podcast the night it is recorded, which is typically Sunday nights. And then all our patrons and Twitch subs get access to our bonus podcast, Squelch After Dork. Thank you all so much for your support.
This one's a real page-turner.
So we have an actual cast of characters to talk about. Do we want to talk about how we feel about our Inquisitors first? We want to hop right into our new friends. I'm kind of fine
Let's do
either
new
way.
friends.
Yeah. Let's do new friends. New friends.
All right. So we have 3 advisors in this game. These are the leaders of the Inquisition right now. So we are currently just an agent of the Inquisition, and these are the 3 leaders of the Inquisition. We have CULLEN. He is commander of the military forces of the Inquisition. He is a former Templar who served at the Gallows and Kinloch Hold. You might remember those as the 2 possibly worst places to be in all of Tevinter in the last 2 games. So maybe CULLEN is the problem. I don't want to I don't want to say it, but I kind of feel like it needs to be said.
He also was the Templar in the second game that was like, hey, Knight Commander, you've gone crazy. Maybe we shouldn't just murder everybody in the city because you feel the stone talking to you. So, cool dude.
It's tough being Commander Cullen. Then we have Josephine.
Yeah.
She is our ambassador and chief diplomat. She's also an Antivan noble and was one point was a ambassador to the Empress in Orlais. So she's very fancy.
And
then we have Liliana. Yes, please.
I want to note, when CULLEN popped up in Dragon Age Inquisition, I thought he was a brand new character, and then you were like, no, he's in Dragon Age 2. And I was like, oh, okay, I must have just missed that. I'm looking at the character model in Dragon Age 2. This dude is not the same person.
So there is a Dragon Age 2 mod that you can use that I have used in the past that actually uses the Dragon Age Inquisition models on the characters. It makes the games much more connected.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, but no, you're not wrong. It's really easy to not know that Cullen's been in like both previous games because he is very much just like a side character of a side character that kind of just shows up like during the most like action-packed parts of the game. And so like, yeah, I'm sorry I don't remember about the Templar who was like super afraid of the mages and was like, go kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. He's a good guy though. I like Cullen a lot. And we have Liliana. She is our spy master, a former companion of the hero Ferelden, and she was the left hand of the Divine. So Liliana has been in both games as well, though she was very much just hardly a side character in Dragon Age 2. Yes, Matt.
I was upset. I was not upset, but more like annoyed because I had a conversation with Liliana today. Or not today, but when I was playing this week, where she talked about meeting working with the hero of Ferelden, how she was amazing. In mine was a male dwarf.
Oh. So yeah,
And was
because
amazed, too.
so I was having problems with like save states uploading into the keep. So like for me, like I'm using the save states from my previous game playthroughs back in like 2020 or whatever. And so, like, Alistair is alive, and, like, Hawk was a mage. Yeah, it's disappointing, for sure.
Cullen's the same dude in Dragon Age Origins that you save outside of the Mage Tower?
Yeah, that's why I was saying, yeah.
I had to, like, read it because I was like, oh, I remember that character. I can't remember exactly what his role was. Yeah, that dude has had a journey, and I haven't recognized him in a single game.
I mean, he is the hero of the game.
I don't know if he's the foil of the game. I think Liliana's the hero of the game. So Spymaster, Left Hand of the Divine. And then, so none of those will actually fight with us. Though you can ask Liliana, be like, hey, why don't you, like, join my party? And she's like, I serve you much better, or I serve much better here as the eyes and ears of the Inquisition than out in the field. And I'm like, cool, same. Like, I wouldn't want to get bit by a spider either. You can just say that, though. It's fine. Like, yeah, I know. Like, a desk job is better than a field job. No one is saying you're wrong.
I have more important people to murder. So
what? Look, once you go to management, it's hard to go back.
yeah.
And then the companions who we have met so far, we have Cassandra. She's a human warrior, a very distant royal in the Pentagast family. She is a seeker, which is like a fancy Templar. She was the right hand of the divine, this divine, and the previous divine. So she's a very fancy lady. Then we have Solus. Solus is an elven apostate mage and an expert on the Fade. Then we have Varric. Varric is our bestest friend, a surface dwarf rogue, former companion of the champion of Kirkwall. And in this game, he has very well-defined chest hair. Varric had one heck of a glow-up.
Yeah, he did.
Varric, like, I don't know who his doctor is, but they're doing good work. Anything to add?
No.
Awesome.
Now, everybody's gotten hotter since Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Cullen's glow up, I think, is even more significant than Varric's, because Varric's had, like, a good charm about him no matter what, and then he was just like, I'm gonna be a little bit sexier. Cullen went from, okay, you're a dude, to, wow, that is, okay, take me, Templar.
Cullen was that guy from high school that kind of just, like, went along with everything and was like, yes, this is the way everything should be. The way things are right now is the way things should be, and I agree with all of them. And then, like, one day, like, stopped and, like, looked around and was like, oh my gosh, it's all been a lie. Everything I've said and done is a lie, and maybe I'm the villain, and I can be better. So, like, he has a really cool character arc. In this game, it kind of does come out as well. Cullen is definitely someone worth chatting to, like, every time you go back to your home. And the problem is he's kind of, like, hidden in his office half the time, so you forget a lot to talk to Cullen. But he's worth checking in on because he has really great conversation arcs. Button. There it is.
As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn.
I love Cassandra.
God, what a good bumper, Dano. I know I complimented it last week. I'll probably compliment it again next week. I think
It's
my
really good.
favorite bumper that we have had on this section yet.
I think Joker was probably the best one. Message for the Crew, I think was really, really good too.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50, but yeah. All right, I'm going to get us started with the quest, The Lone Warden. So Liliana is worried that the Grey Wardens all seem to go missing at the same time. She's like, I don't know. We need them now, and they're all gone. That seems hinky and awful. We need to find us some Wardens. And good news, I found us a Warden. They are in the hinterlands. You should go there and find them. So we go there, we find the Warden. His name is Blackwall, and he's busy. He is training farmers to kill some bandits, which, not normally a Grey Warden thing, but hey, we're not in charge of him. So we help him kill the bandits, and then he's like, hey, I don't know where the Wardens are either, and I don't really care to know where they are. Like, my job is recruiting, so, like, I'll go, like, 10 years without chatting with anybody, and I just, like, I recruit them and then send them off to, like, Grey Warden training. That's my job, so Cool, but this hole in the sky is awful. So I have some Grey Warden treaties that we can use, and like if you want them, I'll join the Inquisition. I'll help you fix the hole in the sky, and then you can use these treaties like we did in Dragon Age Origins to get us some help. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. Also, sweet beard, my guy. Yes, Stormrage.
1, extremely sweet beard. 2, this is probably the most forced that I felt any of our companions were, because in one of the lines of dialogue, you're like, hey, before he actually asks to join, because he asks you if he can join, you're like, do you want to join? And he's like, the Grey Wardens are non-political, and if we join a side, that's as good as doing nothing. And I can't join a side unless it's against the Blight. The Blight is the only side I care about. Cut to 30 seconds later. This thing's really bad, and I actually want to be on your side, please. It's like, you just said you explicitly didn't want to be on my side, and now you're asking to be a part of it? Okay, my man, I appreciate it. I will take it, but let's be consistent, shall we?
I mean, they're demons falling out of the hole, right? So it's like it's Blight adjacent.
100%. If he had just started with that logic, I never would have questioned. If he was just like, there's a lot of demons, you're killing demons, I'll kill demons, that sounds great. But he explicitly is like, I can't join your Inquisition because I'm a Grey Warden. And then 30 seconds later is like, I'm gonna join your Inquisition.
He's also your best tank.
Yeah. He's a really good, like, he's just dragging people over, and yeah, he's so much fun with
I am playing with only 2 tanks this time. I've actually never played with tanks before because I've always played a tank in the game. So I'm actually playing with Blackwall and Cassandra and Iron Bull this time, and it's been a lot of fun. Though Iron Bull is DPS, the build I have with him. But...
Yeah, Iron Bull's not going to get much time with me.
Matt, a friend of Red Jenny, please.
So you remember that arrow that landed at your feet in Val Royeaux?
I do.
Sure, I did. I did. The letter had a note on it. Someone wants to help you, and they can bring everyone, quote unquote. Well, something to that effect. Also, some people want to hurt you. Well, obviously, I'm an Inquisitor. I assume people want to hurt me. There's a notes in the docks, the cafe, and the upper market. The docks and the cafe, easy. So how do you get up to the upper market? Not the stairs. That's silly. You're in Orlais. These fast travel doors all around the square? Guess where they go? The upper market. It's not marked anywhere. It's just marked fast travel.
I hated this
Yes.
so much. Because, like, you have to go onto the map and you have to click on the second layer. And I didn't know there were layers on the map. And so I kept assuming that there were stairs I couldn't find. And they were like, there's a bunch of fast travel stations. And I was like, cool, I don't need to fast travel 10 feet from the other fast travel station. What's happening here? And then I kept looking at it, and I kept trying to, like, do the scan. I kept trying to, like, look around, and I could see other people on the balcony. I was like, okay, so you can get up there. And then I accidentally stumbled upon it when I was clicking around on the map.
This is so dumb.
This is the most ridiculous part of the game. I stand by this because there are stairs all over this game. Like, there are stairs that go down when you're in Haven that go down to the level below, and there's not even like a loading screen. It's just you're lower and it's fine, no big deal. It handles it. There are also stairs that you can go up and down that have loading screens. Also handled, no problem in the game. And what's so great about this is if you're on the second floor and you leap off to go to the ground floor, you just go to the ground floor. So they are connected. They just didn't connect them going up. They're connected going down. They're just not connected going up.
Yeah, but also if you go from the cafe and head back in the corner and up the stairs, you can get up to the second level. Unfortunately, it's blocked by a gate that has no door.
It's nonsensical.
So you can't. It makes no sense. It is awful. It is awful.
Also, a hot tip: you can go back here later in the game and buy furniture.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you want furniture later, you can come back to Orlais.
I need a good couch.
Val Royale
I need a
specifically.
rug. I need a rug. I need a rug that really ties the room together.
They tie the room together.
All right, so after you find all three clues, the game tells you you're being watched and followed. At least the letter in the game tells you you're being watched and followed. And you go to the secluded courtyard on the world map because another loading screen is needed. You go in fully suspecting a trap because, surprise, it's a total trap. You open the door and a mage in an Orlesian noble mage, which seems like a contradiction in this world, is throwing fireballs at you. You know, He like gets ready to do a speech, and you prep for combat, and all of a sudden he gets shot in the neck and dies. So there's this elf girl. Yes,
I love everything about this guy. He's like, of course, the amount of resources you must have expended to find out who I am and that I'm plotting against you must have been so amazing. So many resources. And you're like, my guy, I don't even know who you are. I just someone sent me a note in class, and so I showed up. And you're dead. I love it so much. That's all I had to say.
So this elf lady introduces herself to you as Sarah at this point, right?
Yes,
or
Sarah.
After the
yep.
fight.
Yeah.
But she tells you, hey, there's reinforcements coming. There are a bunch of mercenaries, and by the way, I stole their pants. So, all right, on cue, a bunch of mercenaries spawn in without pants, and you murder them.
You can pause and they're not wearing pants. It's really funny.
It's one of the wildest left turns tonally that this entire game has been pretty grim, dark, serious. Things are pretty bad. And then all of a sudden there's guards without pants on, and Sarah's just cracking wise that it's like, whoa. Am I in Dragon Age 2 again? What's happening here?
and you could ask her, why didn't you steal their weapons? And she's like, well, that's not funny, but no pants, right? Look, no pants. You can't be serious when you don't have pants.
So after the battle, she's like, basically she says she's a member of she's a friend of the Red Jenny. Who are the friends of the Red Jenny? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You ask her, hey, can you provide some noble support? She's like, no. How about some spies? You have spies? You good on spies? Not really. No, not really spies. How about soldiers? Well, we got people. We can do that. And then you obviously say, yeah, join the Inquisition. Why not? Because you offer so much. You're a crazy leftist elf that it might be a little crazy around the edges, and you might be fun to hang out with.
It's definitely fun to hang out with. Also, if you haven't done so yet at the war table, the Red Jenny bees is really great because you get bees grenades, and they're actually pretty darn good.
Bee grenades.
Yep. Bee grenades. Grenades with bees inside of them.
I want to highlight a few things because I'm on the Friends of Red Jenny fandom wiki page. One, in Mass Effect 3's Citadel DLC, there's a sign that says Red Janie floating in the air over a chasm, which I think is fantastic. Two, does anybody want to guess the number of known members of Red Jenny?
5? Like the 5 people who are the Red Jenny?
No idea. Like 3 people, right? It has to be.
There
like
are
3 people.
6. Here's the list of people that it is given. There is, quote, a friend. There is the Denerim contact.
Yep, I remember that one.
There is Sharad Amel, the Inquisitor, conditional.
Oh, that's
Joki,
the one I forgot.
And Sarah.
Darn, because you become Red Jenny in Dragon Age Origins after you finish the Friend of Red Jenny quest line in Origins. Darn. Oh, I was so close. I forgot that you become Red Jenny. Did they also count the guy who falsely claimed to be Red Jenny in Dragon Age Awakening?
I didn't click on all of them.
Oh, okay.
It just said these are the 6 known members.
Okay. That's awesome. Storm Rage, the Imperial Enchanter.
we are given a note by an Orlesian mage that we should attend a fancy Orlesian party, and boy, is it. We get there, and we are accosted by this rude boy who thinks we're a fake herald. Not like that we haven't been closing rifts left and right for people, but alas. And right when he's like, let's take this outside, no, let us take this outside and I will show you the meaning of glass, yes? He instead gets frozen in time, and a mage walks down and is like, hey, maybe be nice to people, huh? How about that? Maybe be nice to people. And she is fancy and beautiful and super cool, and she walks in and she's like, hey, sorry about this guy. Do you want to kill him? Because he was pretty rude to you. And you could choose to kill him or not. Did either of you kill this Frenchman?
I said do whatever you want with him.
I was like, I don't want to ruin the party with a bloodstain. Or something like to that effect. Or something like, no, it's like he's not worth it, basically.
Yeah, that is also what I said. And then she's like, hey, I can join the Inquisition. I know royalty. I know how the court works. I'm a super powerful mage. So you want me. And you're like, you know what? That's a pretty good argument. Mm-hmm. Come on board.
Let me just say, if you're a two-handed warrior, you want her.
Vivian's great. She also got a cool... They also, I believe... I could be wrong about this. She was so overpowered when they on release, like the night, like her as Knight Enchanter, that I believe they nerfed her abilities or something. I could be wrong, but I think I read something about that. Vivian was like really, really good, and like the Knight Enchanter class was really, really good at some point. I think Stormage is googling that to see if I'm right or wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead with.
I am indeed.
I'm gonna go ahead with the captain of the Chargers. So we return to Haven to find a messenger from Bull's Chargers waiting for us. This person is Krem, the second in command of Bull's Chargers. They tell us that Iron Bull wants to join up with the Inquisition. And if we're worried about if they're worth our time and money, then come and watch them fight. So we head up to the Storm Coast and watch them fight. They kill a bunch of Devinters, and yeah, cool, great. Iron Bull walks up to us. It's like, hey, how was that? Pretty awesome, right? Because my boys are pretty awesome. And you're like, yeah, cool. He goes, let's go sit down and have a beer. So I think I should join the Inquisition. And you're like, cool, thanks. He goes, yeah, no problem. Also, I'm a member of the Ben Hassrath. And you're like, the secret organization of spies and leaders of the CULLEN? He's like, yes. And you're like, why would you tell me that? He's like, well, you're a member of an organization called the Inquisition. I figure you'll find out eventually, so why not just be honest about it? And he goes, hey, yes, Matt.
No, go ahead. No, I'll let you finish.
Okay. And then so you like, okay, cool. So why are you doing this? Then he goes, well, they want me to join up with you because there's a hole in the sky, and we want to know, or he goes, they want to know if they need to march and take over the entire free world in order to stop this. And we're like, oh, that's not great. He goes, yeah. So I can kind of tell them what's going on, keep them happy, and then we don't have to start a whole giant war thing. And you're like, okay, that's great. And he goes, and also I'll give you information in turn because that's, what's good is good. He goes, and you're like, oh, awesome. He goes, so are we in? And we're like, yeah, I think you're in. And he's like, great. And then you go talk to Krem, and Krem is like, hey, don't worry about this whole Ben Hassrath thing. Like, get a few beers in him. He tells everybody that he's a member of Ben Hassrath.
If you,
yes,
I had to interject here. Since I'm playing a Canary, he talks about your like heritage, like your parents, they weren't part of the CULLEN, but I'm pretty sure you know about the CULLEN because you are Canary, and the fact that you're a mercenary, but by the way, I am, this group, and you should probably know who that is. Yeah,
he's awesome.
I wish you could ask. Did you meet Felicia Day?
Oh, I know, right? Because she was also a member of the Ben Hassrath.
Right.
He's like a true believer of the CULLEN as well, which is super cool. Yeah, and he'll talk about it a bunch. Cool. He's definitely another one worth talking to when you go back into town a lot. They actually all are. They're all great. It's so many fun friends in this game. Matt, talk about cleaning house.
Cleaning house. So you're in the Sword Coast, or is it the Sword Coast? It is
Storm
the Sword Coast. Storm Coast. I wrote Sword Coast. My bad. Who are they? I don't know. I'm assuming they just have Christopher Walken accents because they're all the Hessian bandits, right?
They captured some
anyway,
of our Inquisition.
Yeah, they
troops.
captured him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they captured a bunch of our troops. That seems real smart to do. Like, an invading army comes into your area and you just decide to kill them. That seems smart. So you follow the path and find a group of them, and you dispatch easily find the corpses and members of the Inquisition. Among the bodies, you find some information as well as a recipe for an amulet that you can decide to do or not do. Along the route, you find the camp, and you can, if you don't do the amulet, you can enter, kill the guards, and then kill everybody in the camp. If you do do the requisition recipe, you basically just fight the boss and like 2 of his guards and maybe his Mimbari, right?
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yep.
And if you, and basically and if you also, do the recipe, none of the other bandits in the Storm Coast will, attack you.
Yeah, as long as you're wearing the amulet, they won't attack you because, like, the Mercy Crest. So if you wear the Mercy Crest, you can walk into their house, or their camp, and challenge, because that's like how the Hessarian rules are. And no one knows what these people are, which I think is super fun. But it's like, hey, they're like, hey, you killed the guy, and we kind of hated him anyways, so like we'll join up, cool. And then like as you move on the Storm Coast, you'll find them like clearing out, like they'll like killing like Mabaris and bears and bandits, and it's like, hey, good work, keep it up. Thanks. And then they just kind of mind their own business, but they join as agents, which is cool too. So you get agents. Yeah. How'd this fight go for you, Storm Rage?
It sucked.
It's a terrible fight.
It sucked a bunch.
It's bad.
And it was
so hard.
It made me legitimately look at this game in a different light for a second, because it's all the things were the same level as I was, and I had just been killing a bunch of other things. But there were a couple of, like, there are dogs with them, there are hounds, and the hounds have an obscene amount of HP, and the boss, for whatever reason, is, like, immune to either lightning or fire, which is the majority of damage that I do, and so I just sat there. They didn't deal a ton of damage, but I just sat there auto-attacking for a good solid 10 minutes before everything went down. It was, I think, the most miserable fight in Dragon Age to date. It was just not fun or interesting, and just took so much time.
This fight on like Nightmare is impossibly hard. It is so difficult because the Mabaris, they just come in from like the sides and pincer you, and they're both elites, and they just like tear through you while like you have like all these like random like bowmen just like firing down on you, and then like the boss comes out and he's got his big 2-handed sword. It's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? And I'm like, I don't think I have to do this. I don't remember doing this. I was like, the Mercy Crest. I put it on and then everything was better. But I was like, this is awful. It's a tough fight. All right, so that was kind of us preparing for the big story beat. So now we have the big story parts of the game today. So we have Champions of the Just. So now we have to choose which team we're on. Are we Team Templar or Team Mage? Or are Templar and Mage Team Inquisition, which is choices we can make. And I can't wait to hear about that. And so we have Champions of the Just, which is us going and asking the Templars for help closing the rift. Or are we going to do with the mages, which is the quest in Hushed Whispers? So the idea behind this is that we need a whole bunch of magic-y people to help close this big giant rift in the sky. And so we can go to the mages because they do magic, or we can go to the Templars because they suppress magic. So we can go to either one of these, and they'll probably be able to help us. But we only can choose one because they kind of hate each other. And so we have to choose. So, Storm Rage, tell us about Champions of the Just.
Well, I decided to recruit the Templars because I'm a mage and it felt fun to go anti the expectations. And everyone tells us how weird it is that we've got like an invite of any sort, because this dude basically just told us to go snuff glue like not that long ago. And now very quickly he's like, oh, okay, you can have an invite after we bring the 10 most important Orlesian houses with us. So pretty weird vibes to start off with. We get inside after chatting with some of the folks who are like, it's kind of weird that you're here. It's kind of weird that you got invited here. Kind of weird. And we are asked to raise the flags based on personal importance. Or we can simply ignore it and say, no, take us to the Lord Seeker right away. We need to talk about how you're going to give us some Templars to help close this breach. Did you guys do flags, or did you say, nope, gotta go chat?
I did flags because I'm like a full believer of like, you know, I'm as like a member of the nobility and like way into Andraste. I was like, well, of course I'm going to do this because this is important. So yeah, I did it.
I think all three of us did the exact same order though. So the flags are Andraste, the Templars, and the people. And not to spoil, but my order was the people, then Andraste, then the Templars. Which, looking at what you two have both written in chat, it appears that we were all the exact same.
Yep.
We are then told, hey, it's time to go check out the Lord Seeker. So we head inside to that meeting, but it isn't him. It's his second in command. And this silly little Frenchman that's been with us the entire time is deeply offended that things have taken so long and that his second in command is here. And we're like, hey, guy, second in command is acting pretty weird. Maybe don't provoke him. He's got a sword. And you don't, but you do have a belly that he could stab with it. And second in command is like, ooh, I'm crazy and I'm going to kill everybody. So he kills everybody in the room, including the Frenchman, which apparently you can avoid if you don't order the flags. If you say, no, I don't want to do flags, just go right in, then the Frenchman doesn't die, which, yeah, no bones lost on that one. I'm fine with him being dead.
He's kind of a funny little dude.
Self, always do flags. Got it.
He was, yeah, no kidding, right? Why wouldn't I? It's fun. I get to have an opinion about something I have no reason to have an opinion on.
Fun with flags. So the second in command of the Lord Templar has all the Templar officers try and kill us, and they are certainly not. It is very obvious that these Templar are not normal Templar that are working under orders. These Templar are deranged, and they have been kind of tinted in this red glow, and they have like this red kind of growth about them. And we find out very quickly that it is because they have been exposed to red lyrium, and they are essentially mindless monsters in service to what appears to be the Lord Seeker, or maybe the red lyrium, or maybe something else. But at this time, it's just very clear that the Templar officers, are in fact not in their right minds. These Red Templars go on a rampage and kill just like everybody that's in the castle that they can, and they'll kill other Templar, they kill whatever Orlesians are there, they try and kill us. We're, not surprise, good enough that we don't have to worry about them. And eventually we kill a bunch of Templar and make our way to the Lord Seeker. And the Lord Seeker touches us, and we find ourselves in the Fade, which is the first time that we've been in the Fade since Dragon Age Origins. And I was very excited about it. Actually, no, that's not true. In Dragon Age 2, we're in the Fade for a couple of small things. But first time that we solo go in because we're just like forced in there. And in the Fade, we find out that the Lord Seeker has in fact been replaced by a envy demon. And in the Fade, we're kind of working our way up through a basement in the castle, and our job is to just keep alive and not let this demon take control of us or steal our face or steal our mind. And while we're in this Fade, a stranger comes in named Cole. Cole's just a dude, and he appears out of nowhere. And seems like there's a lot going on with him, because he knows a lot. He knows that there's an envy demon. He knows about this thing called the Elder One, and he knows, it seems like he might have used to have been a bad guy. He can kind of teleport in and out. He's super magical. not a lot that we know about him, but he seems to be generally friendly and on our side. I am going to pause because there's a hot tip here.
Oh, Cole, yes. So hot tip, make Cole an archer. Cole is going to be a dagger rogue, is kind of what they want you to do with him. But, like, dagger rogue AI is totally scuffed in this game. And so if you make him a dagger rogue, you just never use him. So you can use him as, like, his specialization as an assassin. You can do that perfectly fine, no problem, as an archer. So make him an archer and then just sell all your daggers. That would be my suggestion. Then you can play with Cole. Otherwise, you're just kind of going out and you're like, oh, this is kind of brutal because he just gets himself killed and, like, yeah, it's rough. So, and maybe it's less so when you're playing on lower difficulties. When you get in higher difficulties, you can't play with him at all because you can play as a dual wielding as a rogue with daggers like yourself just fine, but like the AI is the problem. So,
okay, fantastic. Thank you for that tip. As we continue on through the Fade, we find that this demon is working with or for someone else, I believe called the Elder One, and it hints at what I imagine is the big bad of this game, and that there's something about them trying to take over the world. There's a lot of, like, hints or various kind of feelings, but nothing that's, like, specifically concrete. That is, I am the Envy Demon. I am working with the Elder One. Here are our specific goals that we are going to do. All of it is kind of hinted at in language, but it's also in the Fade, and whether or not we hear it for real. It's really well done. I liked it a lot. We are also shown in the past how terrible the last Inquisition was. Turns out, pretty bad. We're also shown a future where envy takes over our body, betrays all of our friends, runs the Inquisition into the ground, and becomes a tyrant. Pretty bad. But eventually, by focusing on ourselves and focusing on ways in which envy has to, like, continue to try to hold us in various ways, their grip eventually loosens, and we are able to make our way out of the Fade. Once we are out of the Fade, we then team up with the remaining non-insane Templars to hunt down the Envy Demon. In order to do so, we need to go get some lyrium and find the remaining non-insane Templars. But this is a really cool mechanic. There is a room in the center that the Envy Demon is on the other side of. The Envy Demon has a barrier that is held up that we cannot get past until we complete this quest. But while we are out completing the quest, the Templars are holding this ground. And as the longer that we take to do this quest, the more ground that these Templars are going to lose. So there's a little bar that's kind of tracking down that shows their strength remaining. And you can go back and reinforce them, and then once you've cleared everything out, that bar will start to tick back up. But a super cool, like, push your luck mechanic almost in this style of game. Huge fan of this mechanic. And apparently you have a Templar friend, and if you keep coming back frequently, thank you, his name is Barris. If you keep coming back frequently, you can save him. I didn't, because I was like, I've got so much of this bar, I'm going to do as much as I can before I go back. And so he was dead by the final touch. Matt, let me start with Dano. Dano, did Barris make it alive for you?
Sure didn't. Very much died. There were some, like, sweet fat loots to get, and I was like, not gonna go and, like, just pick every lock and, like, open every chest. Like, I knew I was fine. Yeah. Like, I was good, and they kept on being like, I hear there's noises, there's fighting in the main chamber. We must go back, and I'm like, nah, chill out, Cassandra, we good. And then, like,
it's good.
And then I was like, oh, Barris died. I was like, oh, bummer. And I was like, am I supposed to be able to save him? Like, Googled it. I was like, oh, oops. I guess, ooh, my bad. Sorry, Barris.
Matt, how was your experience? Were you able to save Barris?
I saved Barris. The clicking on the timer just gave me so much anxiety. And, like, Cassandra's like, we got to go back. And I'm like, all right, cool. And besides, like, I don't know which doors are real doors. I don't know which doors are fake doors. I don't know which doors lead anywhere. So I'm going to go back and take a fresh crack at it after I clear this room. Because, like, there were so many doors that, like, no, this isn't a door. This is just background. Oh, here's a door. It actually opens. Oh, here's a door that's barred from the other side. Okay. It's just like, come on. Like, I just, like, it was like trying to be kind of a maze, but it wasn't a maze. It's like, I'm sitting in the spot where the icon is. Oh, I have to go up the stairs. Okay, where are the stairs now? Oh, I can't do that. I got to go back and save Barrett's butt. Barris's butt. So it's like, all right, so we got okay, I can go back. Oh, here where the stairs are. And so it's like I went back like 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
Going through this in section and like making sure that like, okay, and once I found one of the veterans, like the bar would bump up a little bit, but it would eventually creep back down again. So you had to go run back and, clear out the room and then go find the other 2. So my anxiety of like the timer coming down, like, I saved the guy at the end of this quest.
There'll be war table quests for you that'll be available that aren't available to us because you saved him. He has a whole war table quest line, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the way to probably do it, you can ignore a lot of the red Templars, and then just like when you're done, you don't have to fight them on the way back. You just like disengage from fight and then just run. And then as soon as you open the door, then they just despawn essentially. I think that's probably what I should have been doing, but like I didn't think about it. And I was like, oh, who cares? I think it's the second time I've been burned by like them telling me something and me being like, oh, it's a game. I know how this works. And they're like, gotcha. And I'm like, oh, you did get me. I thought this was really fun. I love this entire quest line. I thought it was awesome.
I have to ask then. So, like, I guess when we get to the end, who was there?
It's another knight. It was another one of like the lieutenants who were in charge. I don't remember his name.
Okay.
Yeah. It's another
some
guy.
dude.
Yeah, another guy. Right. Some guy. Less interesting than Barris.
I also want to note that while I loved the story of this quest a lot, and I loved a lot of the mechanics, this is the first time that you can't go anywhere. You can't like go and rest. You can't go back to camp. You can't find a different camp. And so I wasn't expecting that. And I used my potions pretty liberally at the start of it. And then starting here, I was out of potions. I had no potions from this point moving forward. And there apparently are supply caches, but they are not highlighted in any way, shape, or form. There is no dialogue to say, hey, you could go get some new supplies over here. There is nothing. So if you miss it, it's a bad time. And let me tell you, it's a bad time to have to go this entire section into the boss fight with no potions. Oh, it was so brutal.
Yeah, there's 2 different supply caches in the area. There's one in the main room that's like up. It's like just to the left of like the barricade. And then the one that before the boss, this one was ridiculous. This one should have been like right there in the main hallway. But instead it was like when you were walking in the main hallway, behind you there was like a statue or whatever. And in the shadows, they had a supply cache.
Yep.
So it wasn't even like visible. You had to be like using your sonar button to catch it. I'd missed it the first time. And I was like, I think I had like 4 potions left. And I was like, this boss fight is brutal. And this is going to be hard. And then thankfully I found it for the second fight and then figured out a decent enough like strategy for the fight that it actually wasn't that bad, but holy buckets. Yeah.
I went into so after you come back, you break the barrier and you go and kill the envy demon, which I've played this fight now 3 times. The first time was a terribly miserable boss experience that I never want to repeat in gaming. I was at 10% health across the board on all my characters. 0 potions. So my strategy was somebody goes down, someone rests them, someone goes down, someone rests them. And so it was just the entire fight was just rezzing. Not a fun game. Not a fun game to do that. And I assumed that I just didn't have any potions and I couldn't reload to an earlier save. And I was like, am I kind of soft locked here? Am I dead? Because I can't do this fight with no potions and everybody at 10% health. That's insane. So I dropped it down to casual. And in casual, when you res somebody, they get brought back at like 40% health instead of like 10 or 20% or whatever it is. So I was able to beat it on casual with no potions. It was not a super fun fight, but like it was fine. Then when I went back through the third time and I had potions, great fight. Very interesting, fun usage of things. I ended up using all my potions, but in a very fun way. So when doing this game, this fight as designed, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I just wish that the potions were more obvious. Dano.
So this is a multi-phase fight. The first and last phase, he is like one of those like it's like a big grasshopper demon type thing. The one that like dives into the ground. The terrors, right? He's like a terror, like a big terror. Yeah. But in the middle phase, he turns into like a copy of you. So for me, he turned into like a bowman, like an archer. Did he turn into anything for you guys?
He turned into a two-handed warrior for me.
Okay, cool.
The same for me.
Turn into a warrior for you too?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I wonder if he doesn't turn into a mage then, because like I wonder if it's either warrior or archer or daggers or something like that. I bet you like they couldn't do like the mage or something. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder why wouldn't you have it be a mage? That's funny because it was definitely an archer for me. That phase saved me. Like honestly, I was like against the ropes, and then he turned into an archer, and then I was able to like blast him down and then get everybody like separated. And then the final phase was real easy. He was off in the corners, basically. My tank could go over there, keep him busy, and then my DPS could just like blow him up from range. The first phase was kind of hinky. The second phase was simple. And then the third phase was also pretty easy because at that point he was like he would just go into corners and I could just blow him from range. So, yeah, but that first time I got through there, he absolutely smoked me without any potions. Cool. Yeah.
Once you successfully defeat the Envy Demon, then you are given one final decision.
Yes.
You can either have the Templars join you as the organization of the Templars, or you can say disband the Templars and join me as individuals, saying the Templar order is broken, which, to be fair, kind of is, or we need to rebuild the Templars to make them as good as they used to be. No matter what you pick, the people back at your war table will say you picked the wrong decision,
know, right?
Which is kind of weird, because Cassandra and Cullen are both Templars in various ways. And so, like, why are you mad that I brought the Templars and I said the Templars? Because there's no way you would have said the opposite. Like, it's insane. It's insane.
I think they're just mad that you're making a decision, not about the decision you made. So they're just mad that you made the decision because at this point you're just an agent and not the Inquisitor. And so like, hey, don't make decisions for us, guy.
Yeah, like my dialogue choice in this section was the option was like, hey, this was your idea. This is your thing. I just did it. And now you're mad about it.
What did you guys do? Did you have them join as allies, or did you take them as like whatever it's called, like servants or whatever?
I said, hey, Templar Order, let's get going. That sounds like a great plan.
Yep.
So we all kept the Templar Order intact. We didn't disband the Templar Order. Oh, I thought for sure you guys would disband the Templar Order. I did this so you can't save in between the boss fight ending and this decision. So I redid this boss fight because I was like, maybe I do want... So I kept the Templar Order together, and then I was like, oh, maybe I want to disband them, actually, because I was like, that... Because, like, they're fundamentally broken. Like, they knew Red Lyrium was Bad News Bears, and they were like, cool, we take Red Lyrium because... A, they told us to, and B, we want lyrium, and so we're cool with it, whatever. We get all sorts of lyrium. We love lyrium. We're basically addicted to lyrium. They are addicted to lyrium. So, and I was like, oh, maybe disbanding it is better and just making them part of the Inquisition. And then I was like, no, I'm role-playing this person as, like, a Chantry, true, like, Andrastian believer. No, they should be... The Templar Order should be intact, so I went back to the Templar Order intact. And then I kept on second-guessing it. And so I finally went back and deleted all of my saves up until that decision, because I kept on waffling. I'm like, I have to just make a decision. So I went and deleted all the saves from previously up until that point when that decision was made. So I couldn't go back and redo it anymore, because I kept on relitigating it in my head. I couldn't make a decision.
My reasoning was a bit silly. We've killed so many Templars that while there are a lot of bad Templars, most of them are like the officers and the people in charge. We've killed all of them. So, like, the only people that are left are the grunts that have seen the terror of what happens when you don't do good, and aka, I will come and kill you. So my hope is that they can rebuild the Templar Order on either the fear of the Inquisitor coming back in, or B, the fear of turning into those monsters.
That's good. What were you thinking, Matt?
I kind of like, I am leaning towards doing the Templar build for two-handed, and I'm like, well, after this Inquisition thing is done, I am going to be looking for a job, so I might as well become head of the Templars. At least that's how I role played it.
I love that. It's like, well, I'm going to need employment after this whole Inquisitor gig is done. So, yeah. So good. Sorry. Awesome. So I get to take Sheep's job of explaining in hushed whispers. I'm sorry. 1 second. I got a cough. Okay. Wow. All right. So in hushed whispers. So if we choose instead to support the mages, we go after we are invited. So as a reminder, last week we were invited to Redcliffe by Grand Enchanter Fiona after the Templars punch out the Chantry priests. Very nice of them. So Grand Enchanter Fiona's like, hey, you look like a fine, upstanding Inquisitor. I think you should come to Redcliffe and let's talk about, figuring out this whole thing. Maybe we do an alliance or something. It's like, cool. Yeah, totes. Let's do this. So we arrive at Redcliffe and one of our scouts is there and he's like, hey, we sent messengers ahead and said we're on our way. And then we got here and everyone was like, what do you mean the Inquisition is coming? No, they aren't. Why would they come? You weren't invited. And so we're like, that's a little weird. We totally were invited. And some mage runs up to us and is like, hey, sorry. Come on inside. No big deal. So Magister Alexis is in charge now, but he's not here yet. So you can meet with the former Grand Enchanter if you want. And we're like, Magister, like Tevinter Imperium Magister? That's a little hinky. Yeah, let's go ahead and meet with former Grand Enchanter Fiona. So we get into the Redcliffe Village Inn and Fiona's like, hey, why are you here? And we're like, because you invited us, lady. And she's like, I don't remember that. I haven't been in Val Royeaux since before the Conclave. But it doesn't matter anyways, because all of the free mages of Thedas have pledged themselves to Tevinter. We're all pledged under Magister Alexis now. And we're like, are you serious? Cassandra's like, you made an alliance with Tevinter. Do you not fear all of Thedas turning against you? And then Varric chimes in. He goes, for the love of Andraste, I'm trying to think of a single worst thing you could have done, and I've got nothing. So, bad decisions all around.
Yeah.
So a Magister Alexis shows up and he's like, sorry about that. I'm a little late. I'm a big deal. I'm in charge of all the Southern mages now, and I'm awesome. And all the mages here are my indentured servants, and they have to do whatever I say for 10 years, including the children. And former Grand Enchanter Fiona's like, what? He's like, yeah, be quiet. And we're like, oh, this is awesome. So we sit down and we're like, I guess we're going to chat with you. Hey, we need some mages to close up the breach. And he's like, yeah, you probably do, huh? And then his son Felix rolls up to us and then faints in our arms. And we're like, oh, that's a little weird. And then his dad, Magister Alexis, is like, oh my gosh, Felix, are you okay? You okay? It must be your illness. Let's get you off and get your medicine in you. And so they leave. And we're like, wow, he must be really, really sick. So we... as he leaves, we realize that he gave us a note as he fainted, quote unquote, into our arms, and he wants to meet us in the Chantry. So we head off to the Chantry, and there's a rift in there, and a Tevinter mage with a very sweet mustache trying to close that rift. So we go in, give him a help. He's like, wow, so you can close these things. Super cool. Do you know how you do that? And we're like, he goes, you just kind of wiggle your hand at it, don't you? And we're like, yeah. He's like, that's amazing. He goes, anyways, I'm Dorian, and I'm awesome. I'm a Tevinter mage, but I'm not a member of the Magisterium. That's important. You should know that. And he goes, hey, Felix should be here soon. And then Felix shows up and said, hey, my dad has joined a cult of Tevinter Imperius called the Venatori. And I don't like that. You need to help my dad not be a member of the Venatori. Because he's obsessed with, the Magisterium taking over the world. And that's awful. So we meet up again with Magister Alexis. And he is like, hey, you have this thing that you stole and you don't deserve it. I'm like, okay, that's great. Can we talk about closing up the breach? He goes, no, we can't, actually. And I'm super mad at you. And he wants to fight us. And then he creates a rift and throws us inside of it. And we're like, oh, I didn't know we could do that. So it's just us and Dorian. And we're in this dungeon full of that's filling up with water, basically. And at this point, Dorian's like, so, yeah, about the rifts. Totally used to work with Alexis, and he used to not be crazy. He a little bit crazy now. And what he was doing was looking into, time magic and, traveling through time. And things got pretty bad, and basically he could just open up a hole in time. There's that hole in the Fade, and that's super bad. And I think that we have traveled in time. He threw us through a rift in time. And I don't know if we went in the past or in the future, but I think we moved in time. So we start moving through what used to be the Redcliffe Keep, but it has changed a lot. And it becomes clear that we have moved forward 1 year into the future because we're running into some people that we know. One of them is Fiona, and she has red lyrium growing out of her. And she's like, yes, this red lyrium's growing out of me, and when I die, they're going to harvest this red lyrium from my corpse. And we're like, wow, that's awful. Regrets, maybe? But there's a few regrets there. And she just goes, you have to stop this. I'm like, okay, so we have to go get this amulet that he used to open up the rift so that we can go back in time so this never happened. So we keep on moving through all this. We find a couple of our pals. We find Solus, and we find Cassandra, assuming whoever came along with you. And they're both totally scuffed as well. They have weird echoey voices, and they have this red glow coming off them, obviously from being near red lyrium. And then, I forgot. Fiona tells us that we have to go find our former spy master. Liliana is in the castle, and she can help us. So we have to go look for Liliana. We find Liliana, and she is being tortured. And not a little bit tortured, but obviously she's been tortured for basically a year straight. And Liliana is dark and totally scarred in the face, and everything is pretty bad. And she is super mad at all mages. She's like, you do this. You did this. This is why mages can't be allowed to exist, because no power should exist in one person. And you don't really blame her. And she gets mad at us for being like, oh, don't worry, we're going to undo it. She goes, this happened. This is real. This is my life. And this is our life. We had to live through this. So Liliana is a little bit broken. So a whole bunch of fighting to go find Alexis. And we finally find him, and he's got his little throne room. And there is his son, obviously possessed by a demon or something. And we're like, oh, bud, what'd you do? He goes, I couldn't allow my son to die. I had to save him however possible. And the Elder One said that he would keep him alive. And if we just, if he would save him if I just did what he said. And so I did what he said. It's like, oh, bud, what in the world? Oh, I forgot one point. Cassandra goes, yeah, so what happened was the Elder One popped up and assassinated Empress Selene, and then a horde of demons swept over all of Thetis. So now we have to be worried about Empress Selene being assassinated. That's important. So we fight Alexis. He dies, and then we hop back through the rift, and he's like, oh, crud. Well, you win. And then we get to choose between making them, the mages, our allies or our prisoners. The same way we got to do that with the Templars. The end.
I am so mad that I didn't also get to do this quest, because this seems like the most interesting quest that there has been so far. At the very least, perhaps tied with the Templar quest. And I really wish I could play both of them.
It is a true. I played through the first one. I played through this game. I played through this one. it is unhinged. It is like I can't do justice for like when you run into Fiona and Cassandra and Solus and Liliana, because they're like truly broken people. Like the world ended, we're in the apocalypse. This is the end, and all we can do is take as many of these monsters out with us. Because at one point they're like, basically at one point they're like a bunch of like the Elder Ones, like monsters and guards are coming, and they're like, we'll hold them off. You go and ensure this future never happens. It's a really, really cool quest.
I wish that there was like a golden ending type thing where you could either do one of the quests for 15 power, or if you did one quest, then you could do the other for like 45 power or something like an insane amount, because they're not, other than time perspective, they aren't really mutually exclusive, because the Templars that we end up saving are Templars, but they're not like must kill all mages on sight. And the mages we end up rescuing are like, we just want to survive. If you can help us survive, we'll do that. And so I do wish, I wonder if there's a mod that lets you do both.
I wish there was, because you're 100% right. There should be a way to, like, with enough power, be able to buy both of them, because the way this ends up working is, so, like, we do end up fighting both the Red Templars and the, I'm blanking on what they're called, the bad mages. Shoot. What are they called? Anyways, we end up fighting both the Tevinter mages that follow the Elder One and the Red Templars throughout the rest of the game. Like, they're both the we only save a fraction of both of them anyways. So if we save a fraction of the Templars or a fraction of the mages, and the rest of them do get warped by the Elder One anyways. So I agree 100%. There should have been a way to, like, be for 15 power, you can save one of them, or if you have like 45 or 60, then you can do both. I think that'd be awesome. That would be really, really cool. Oh, now I'm bummed. But yeah, it's a super fun quest.
Hello, old friend. Let's meet for tea after the match, shall we?
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
All right, Matt, what'd you do this week?
I'm having way too much fun playing Two-Handed Warrior. Charging in, big swing, spin to win. It's great. It's like perfect, right? Exactly what I want to do. Learning, like I said, I was leaning toward Templar build just because it looks interesting. Vivian is like my favorite companion now. She's just amazing all around. Not just because she's amazing in combat, but mainly because she's amazing in combat. Did a bunch of the Storm Coast. Kind of like that area a lot. It's a nice change from the hinterlands. I watched a giant fight a dragon, and that was super cool. Like, just sat there and watched the entire fight happen. It was great. There's some good loot off that giant, too. Set up some camps, found the Warden artifacts, did other things in the Storm Coast. Like, did the constellation things, which were super fun. Then I went to head to Kirkwall to see what the mages were up to, and did like I met the guy with the mustache, and then I was like, I'm going to go deal with the Templars instead. Then, save the Templars from an envy demon, and decided to stick around and figured, might as well see if I could do the Templar gig after this hole's done. So, yeah.
Nice.
Storm Rage? What'd you do this week in Hearthstone?
Is that me?
Yes.
Yes, you are Storm Rage.
Good. I didn't hear the word Storm Rage. So I just heard, what did you do this week? My apologies. I very importantly want to note there is a mod that does exactly what Dano and I had hoped. So just so you know, it's called the Best of Both Worlds mod. How tempted are you to go back and try and run it?
Well, no, he can't because he deleted the save.
I've progressed so far. I've gone past the point of no return. So that was hence the angry stare at the skies. Shoot.
That makes sense.
I
do want it known that in the show notes, Matt or Dano had a spot for both Matt himself and Sheep to talk about this, but didn't include one for me. So I wrote it in anyway because I will not be silenced and I will talk about things. I first went back to the hinterlands and cleared up the apostates. I've cleared both the apostates and the Templar. I still see apostates and Templar all over the hinterlands, so I don't know what is supposed to happen as far as a reduction in numbers, but they're still fighting all the time, and I don't know what's happening. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done with the hinterlands. I don't want to go to the hinterlands. I don't want to deal with the hinterlands anymore. And I then was like, I'm going to go to the Storm Coast. So I went to the Storm Coast, found some dead Inquisition members, beat up a gang boss, and it was the most anticlimactic mission I think I've done in Dragon Age, where it was like, I killed him, and there was no trigger. There was nothing. It was just like, that's it. Okay. Then I saw a giant fight a dragon, and then the giant was like, actually, I'm gonna kill you. So then I had to fight a giant, and that was terrifying. That thing was a lot of HP. Matt, did you fight the giant?
No, I stayed far enough back that like I just waited for like the dragon to fly off because I was sane.
Okay, I fought the giant. It was a lot. It was a tough fight. And went looking for some Grey Warden's notes. I talked to Blackwall, and he was like, there's some Grey Warden stuff going on. And every time you find a note, they're like, wow, Blackwall would really like to see this. And it's like, yeah, but he's not in my party. So, oh well. And in these notes, they describe that the Grey Wardens are looking for someone, and they did not find them in the Storm Coast, but they have moved on into looking in a different land. Dano.
So those quests where it's like, hey, you're doing a thing for your pal. If your pal is in the party for the most part, they will approve or greatly approve. So Blackwall will greatly approve when he's in your group. When you do those quests, he'll like you more. But if he's not in your group when you collect it, then he doesn't. Like there's no like change in his liking you or not.
He greatly approved when I turned it into him.
It's like the quest.
Yeah. When you talk to him in Haven afterwards, oh, by the way, when you found that stuff in the Storm Coast, I appreciate that.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, he'll like if for each one that you go find, he'll greatly approve for each one. So like
correct.
So I'm not sure if it's like I think that it's like there's a different amount of like approval if he's in the party or not in the party. So sometimes like if like for some of the Dorian ones or something like that, it's like there'll be like mild approval or great approval or regular approval if he's in the party versus not in the party. So for some of those, it actually you have a benefit of like more friendship points if you have them in the party. Though in this game, you don't know what your friendship points are at because they don't tell you, so you only can tell by how they greet you. Which I find maddening.
Oh, I hate it.
It's so annoying. Like, tell me my friendship points. I want to know how awesome of friends we are. I need validation in the form of numbers. Thank you very much.
Yes, agreed.
All right, so I cleared out all of the hinterlands. So cleaned out everything that's there. All the Red Cliff quests. Some of those were just straight up like, hey, I am an old man and I can't take flowers to my wife's grave because of the bandits. So can you do that? And so you do that. And then you go back and he goes, thank you. And you're like, you're welcome. There is a lady, a chantry lady, and you walk up to her and you're like, hey, Liliana knows about you and you're actually a smuggler. And she's like, oh, shoot. And you're like, hey, do you want to join me instead? And she's like, yeah, I'll do that. There is the Ballad of Lord Wolseley, which is maybe the best quest in the game. So there is a farmer near Redcliffe, and he's like, hey, we have Lord Wolseley, and he is an awesome ram, and he's been with my family for a lot of years. So you should go and bring him home. Just tell him to come home, and he'll listen to you. And you're like, oh, that's a little weird because rams shouldn't know people speak. And so you go and you find Lord Wolseley and you're like, hey, Lord Wolseley, go home. And he does. And so, or if you prefer, you can kill Lord Wolseley because he is possessed by a demon. So you kill the ram and then the demon pops out and then you kill the demon. And it will say, oh, we better not go back to that guy actually. And so you can't go and talk to him ever again. So cleared out all the hinterlands. Wasn't able to kill the dragon, though I got about 50% down, but I didn't have my class spec yet. And I was like 4 levels under it. So it was a tough fight. So I will come back to that probably after I get my spec. I also cleared out 100% of Fallowmire, which is a super fun area. There are like some like demons you have to clear out that are like causing the undead to rise. There was a story about a village suffering from plague and like people locking other people into their houses when they got sick because they were terrified that after they died they were going to arise as undead because they were arising as undead. It's full of like streams and water. Whenever you walk into the water, like the undead rise out and you have to fight them. Really, really fun. And there's also some Avar who is there down from the mountains who is just mad that we are closing the holes in the sky. We're like, you can't silence the Sky Mother like that. And so he wants to kill me, so I have to kill him instead. So I do that. And then, so that was pretty awesome. And then also cleared out all of the Storm Coast I could, except for the part that you need like an Inquisition. Like you have to go to the war table to open it up at a certain point. So I haven't done that yet, but I've done everything else in the Storm Coast as well. I like it, though. I wish there was more to do in the Storm Coast. A lot of it is pretty empty and just kind of like riding around. But Storm Coast is also pretty fun. It's like stormy and a coast. So yeah, clean up all those quests as well.
Love the size and scope of the Storm Coast so much more than the Hinterlands. It is so much more digestible for me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, there's like 2 main quests, there's like 10 side quests. I can do this. That's an achievable number for me. And like the number of locations discovered for the quest is 10 versus 27. The number of camps is 3 versus 6. It was a much more achievable, and I wish they had started with a zone like the Storm Coast and then progressed into the Hinterlands afterwards. I think my brain would have been able to handle that much better.
I agree with that. I like that the Hinterlands exists. I like the big story of the Hinterlands. I like everything that's in it. I think you're 100% correct. Should not have started there. Like, or should have had it like much more contained. Like, just be the crossroads, be the area that we are in, that first area. And then Red Cliff and everything else. Like, I love, there's so much cool, like, in-game history that takes place in that area. Like, we are there for a lot of Dragon Age Origins. It's very cool revisiting all those areas in Inquisition. But yeah, it is so much for, like, the very first part of the game. I am totally with you on that. Cool.
Taste my grilled cheese.
What's our first good?
Munch, Dano.
Sorry. I noticed there was a screenshot here, so I got distracted.
The first good is mine, and I shall take it as is deserved. For me, the first good is when the moment moves from open world to railroads, the story gets so much sharper, so much faster. Like the second that the Templar quest started, I went, oh, okay, here we are. This is the story of Dragon Age Inquisition. This is what I have been wanting since the prologue, basically, and it was awesome. Like, that whole story, the narrative, the way that it's connecting, the way that it's introducing new things, I thought that quest was simply stellar, and I had a very good time with it.
I've got the not so good, and it's like super not so good now that I know that there was a mod that basically fixes this. So annoyed. So ridiculously annoyed. So ultimately the game doesn't change all that much if you choose to work with the Mage, the Templars. You still fight the Venatori and the Red Templars the same way. Instead, you just kind of end up, like, the only thing that changes are how your companions view you and some war table stuff. And this would be completely fixed if I could just do both quests. And now that I know I could, and that I can't because I am basically a week ahead of the podcast, I'm super sad. So I think the not so good is there's a mod that makes this better, and I can't do it.
I am very tempted to go. It'll depend a lot on how much time I have this week. I am in a weird spot where I think I might have some time this weekend. We'll see. I might try to go back and do both, because it depends on where the mod is at and if I can install it from just before the acceptance of the Templar quest or not. So I'll look into it and I'll investigate.
One thing about the mods in this game, you have to download a separate mod manager called Frosty Mods, and you have to load the game through that mod manager. So if you do want to do it, let me know. It's actually really easy to do, but it's more steps than with other games because of that. So just so you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's our best good, Matt?
The best good is Haven, and like just the little conversations that happen in the environment makes it feel just so alive. Like, you know, like the fact that the NPCs are just having this dialogue in the background, and there's this great dialogue moment when you're just like hanging around, like just before you walk into the Chantry building, in after you recruit Iron Bull, where it's like these two ladies are talking, and they're like, "So did you give Iron Bull the supplies he requested?" Yes, he was very grateful. And, you know, I thanked him a few times, and later he thanked me back, and it was a grateful evening all around. Just like the tone and just everything about it just made me laugh, and it's just it made me fall in love with the zone so much. Now that I know we're leaving, kind of is annoying. Because I kind of love I love the little pub. I love like going outside the walls and hearing the clank of the soldiers just sparring the entire time. It's a great little area, and it's so much fun, and I love it. So
he asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions. 3, that's a magic number. I will ask myself
3 questions. Matt, what are you liking so far?
Other areas other than the hinterlands, and I think Stormrage talked about this as well, like where it's like the Sword Coast is just a much more streamlined and better designed. Feels like better design zone. I don't know if it's better designed, but it's like it's more focused. Like it still has a ton to do, but like you can but it's manageable and it's smaller and it's different and it's much more interesting to me. It's not as overwhelming. Stormrage, what are you liking so far?
I am loving the overall narrative that we are getting deeper and deeper glimpses into. Like this reference to the Elder One. Absolutely. Cole showing up out of nowhere, knowing nothing about him. Yes, absolutely. An envy demon replacing the Lord Seeker and turning all the Templars against us. Yes, the Templar or the mages that were rewound time and taken advantage of. Yes, I love the big story choices that are happening here. Dano?
I love our friends. There are so many great characters in this game, and like include even like some that don't join the party. So like Scout Harding and Krem are both like they both have fully fleshed out stories that you get to learn as you interact with them during the game. And like they're just all of our characters are kind of companions and our friends and advisors. You get to interact with all of them on like your terms and as you kind of progress through the game, and their stories are just so interesting, and like especially when you first get to know them, it's just a ton of fun. Matt, what are you struggling with?
Finding time to go to talk to everybody. Like everybody still has stuff to say, and I'm going through their dialogue trees, and every time I come in through like pop through Haven, I'm going to talk to everybody, and they still have things to say, and it's great. And I was kind of pressed for time a little bit near the end of the week, and I'm like, I'd love to talk to you, but I want to talk to you, but I got to finish the thing for the podcast. I'm sorry. you know, so, and like you see what they had to add and what their opinions are. It's great. Stormrage, what are you struggling with?
Side quests and the smaller content still feels, even if it's mechanically somewhat interesting, the story is so hit or miss. There are some small side quests that I'm like, this is super cool and well designed. And then there was one that was set up beautifully. It was like, there's this spirit in this lake, and this lake responds to this specific flower, and people keep asking for this wonderful things and keep interacting with it. But if you want to really do it, you need to use this specific flower at this specific time, and then you'll meet the spirit. And I was like, super cool. So I went to the lake, I planted the flowers, and was like, cool, here's loot. What? That's it?
That's
all it is?
It's got to be Blood Lotus, not Elf whatever. It's so weak. It's a good sword, though, I think.
I wish
okay.
that there were less quests for the sake of having quests. And if I knew that every small quest was going to be interesting, I would probably play every small quest, to be honest. But knowing that there are some that are just cool, you did it. And I've ran into quite a few of those. It really hurts my desire to play any side quests outside of to just gain power or whatever the loot is. So that's kind of been what I'm struggling with.
Walk 3 times around this statue, kill the demon that pops out. That's one of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so dumb.
Dano, what you struggling with?
So I love the war table, but it's a lot of reading. Like, so you have to read through what the war table, what the reason that, what the thing is that we have to do. Okay, so this noble has this problem. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then you have to, it's like, okay, well, which of my advisors do I want to use? And it's like, oh, they all pretty compelling reasons to use all of them. And okay, this is going to take me 55 minutes to complete. So, okay, I do that. And then I get back and I complete it. And I'm like, oh, wait, what was the thing that I did? And why was I doing it? So I think the war table is a really cool mechanic, but like just kind of I would rather it be more like the Mass Effect 3, like points that we get instead of like getting 86 gold or getting a pommel or getting like, I feel like the rewards don't, like, sometimes you get influence, right, that you can use towards perks, and that's neat. But I wish instead of like just like a little bit of gold here and there, or some armor I'm not going to use, or maybe sometimes it's really great sword sometimes or whatever. Sometimes it's very good loot, but I wish it was kind of like a Inquisition, like level of, I wish there was something more tangible or like more visible, I guess, for completing it, as opposed to like just random loot. So I like it. I think like 90% of it is good, but I feel like 10% could have been better. And that's kind of my problem with it.
I do love the get gold mission that's always available. Because at the beginning of the game, it was like, here's 86 gold. And I was like, okay, is gold going to be hard to come by? Because that's not a lot. And now I have like several hundred, if not thousands, of gold pieces. And turns out it's not a lot. It's very, very little gold. And there really isn't a reason to do it other than, I guess, if you've got nothing else to do.
I always
turns out inflation hit the area really hard. Because remember when it was a struggle to get 50 gold in Dragon Age 2?
Yeah, it's yeah, right. With 300 gold, you were like the most, like, you were incredibly powerful for 300 gold. Yeah, I just dropped 12,000 gold on a weapon schematic, which is like the best bow schematic I can get at this point in the game. And then I went and farmed bear hides for 3 hours to get the 20 bear hides I needed. Now I have 21% crit on this crazy bow. So that's the bow I use for the rest of the game. I just keep on getting, as I get like better and better materials, I'll just keep on upgrading that single bow. So worth it. Matt, what surprised you about the game?
The Fade sequence. The Fade sequence was probably my favorite part of this week's playthrough. What was cool, like, it was just like, it took what was cool about the Dragon Age Origins Fade sequence, but got rid of the slog and annoyingness of it in a way. I just like, like in the fact that like they showed like, the future, the envy demon wanted to give you if you decided to work with him. Or obviously you weren't going to decide to work with him, but like that's what he wanted. It was super cool, and I enjoyed it tremendously. Stormrage, what surprised you?
I am really enjoying the variety of companions that we have this time around. In Dragon Age 2, it felt like I loved a lot of the companions, but most of them were various versions of smart mouth little punks that kind of wanted to do their own thing. And in Dragon Age Origins, some of the characters were really interesting, but some of them were just like so dull. Like I can't even remember a thing about Sten existing. No. And now I feel like we have a great variety of characters that have different interests, different goals, different looks, different personalities. We also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Vivian is like the first non-alien, non-white companion that I think we've had in a BioWare game. Like there are people that are tan and that could be non-white, but it's not quite clear if they've just spent a lot of time in the sun or if there's other things at factors here. And I am glad that it took too many games, but at least we finally definitively got some non-white human representation in a BioWare game, and I'm very grateful for that. And she's also super cool and awesome. And I think every companion is really interesting. They all come from different perspectives. Big fan of this. I'm an idiot. Mass Effect has a handful. At the very least, Jacob. So I'm a dum-dum. I forgot about that.
I thought that was wrong, but I couldn't remember for sure. But Jacob 100%. Yep.
To be fair, Jacob wasn't that memorable.
Jacob was amazing. You shut your mouth.
I loved Jacob.
Jacob's like my boy. Like going and talking to Jacob and him just like being besties with you, like made like you. I would just go and talk to him when I needed to pick me up. I'm like, hey Jacob, I need a pal. He's like, that's awesome. Let's talk about push-ups. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about push-ups. I love Jacob. He's my favorite.
I should also notice James Vega for Mass Effect 3 as well,
right.
As far as another human.
Yep, and Mass Effect 3 came out during during Dragon Age 2 because we did see the advertisement on the Dragon Age 2 loading screen still to this day for the most anticipated game of whatever it was.
So ignore everything I said earlier, but the conclusion of fun companions is correct.
Yes, and Vivian being fun is also fun because she's awesome and she will... Like, she could dislike you quite a bit, and it's a lot of fun when she dislikes you as well, because she's, like, full-on, like, Chantry Mage is the way to go, and so if you go, like, anti-Chantry Mage, like, anti-Circle, she will not like you, and she, like, does not pull punches. She's a super fun character. Yeah, she's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dano, what surprised you about the game?
I just love how much, this is the opposite of your Storm Rage, I'm sorry. I love how the world changes as you complete the quests. So like in the Hinterlands, when you clear out the Mage and Templar hideouts, the Mages and Templars in like the Crossroads go away, and then as you clear out the Bandit Stronghold, the bandits go away. And then at a certain point, there are some Tevinter Magisters that come in the area. And so as you clear that, like as they come in, then like there's Tevinter mages and soldiers all over the area, and then as you clear out their bosses, they go away, and then then the area is basically safe. Like you can just ride your horse from one side to the other and not run into anything. And it's a really fun bit of like storytelling through environment that I really, really like. Like it's like, okay, you've done all this stuff, and now there's enjoy the safety you've created. I think that's neat. And so I really do enjoy that quite a bit. Where's the button? There
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Rage, sell the game to a friend.
Get out of the Hinterlands and everything is better.
I will follow that up with, told you so. Matt, sell the game to a friend.
It's a game about some of the choices we make every day, like trying to kill an envy demon, or try to be not to be enslaved by a bunch of mage tyrants.
Just Tuesdays.
Relatable. Hashtag relatable. Next week, we are getting bogged down in the Hinterlands. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to our patrons for patronizing us. You can find links to our Discord and content information in the link tree in the description of this episode.
Dragon Age Inquisition is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah! Let's start an Inquisition, baby!
This is the end of the show! Everybody bye!
So we went super long again. I'm not sure how we're going to do this and not go really long. This is really hard to go normal podcast length.
Yeah, I think the only way that we do it is we just either A, cut down on the amount of quests that we talk about, or just give even briefer overviews of quests, or
Yeah.
just accept that it's going to be an hour 45, an hour 50 every time.
I think it just might be hour 45.
Yeah,
hour
that's
50
where I'm at as well.
Sorry, listeners.
I think it's just going to be long because I feel like the side questing and that kind of stuff that we're doing is also like part of the game. So I want to keep Tea with Finley in it, and even that was short even. So I don't know.
Right. But I mean, unless to get a chance to talk about what we're doing, other than just like side quests. Like I'm not doing a whole lot of side quests right now, but like I want to talk about the gameplay and how much I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to bring up that we move, but I didn't know how else to talk about next week. So sorry that it's moving day.
I mean, I just hope there's a nice bar in Haven or in the new place that we can hang out with.
I think you'll like it. Don't want to give too much away.
Right.
Talk about next week. So next week is when the game really opens up. So right now we have like 3 zones, and then next week like the whole map opens up to us basically. So
Yeah, I need to go and explore the other zones this next week, because right now I've only been to, as far as like combat zones, the hinterlands and the storm coast. And I know there's a couple others that are viewable that I've unlocked for one reason or another. So I need to go check them out.
I wouldn't rush into that because you're going to have to go somewhere else next week anyways for your class stuff. So you'll get out and about anyways. So like if you have to go out and about, you might as well do it like with some purposefulness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I next week, can I just go right into it and then do other stuff afterwards? Or do I need to like... Okay.
Yeah, so I would say next week just start with the story quest. Lead there.
Okay.
Because like everything else, like that is like the tipping point of the game. So like up to this point, everything is like you'll see. I'm not gonna say anymore, but yes, start there next week, 100%. Start with the quest, and then do everything else afterwards. So
sweet,
cool. All right,
awesome.
No after dork because we went long again. We'll figure this out. Maybe we'll do something.
I mean,
special.
we had a pre-dork.
We did have a pre-dork. I'll put the pre-dork in as the after dork. So that's a good idea.
There we go.
All right, cool. All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging out in Twitch chat, and thanks for listening. And we'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.